and we will get started on this game right now. If it's anything like the last set, you won't want to miss it as we get started here. Musou versus the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club. Taking a look at the comps right now. Of course, Zillard going with the bamboo. Pika on the charger. And this first pop, I can't wait to see who's going to get it, because it's just whenever you get into a new set and you have a first pop, it just seems like it's that much more exciting. It's like the green flag at a race.
Yeah, I was going to say, I kind of want to give pop advantage to Musou right now, because they do have that quad bomb and the fizzy for kind of rapid fire damage. Unfortunately, somehow the machine going down in the middle of the map due to Alex's fan club, is I don't want to try and pronounce that.
ALFC. That'll be the way to go.
Right now, we do see Zillard pushing up right now, trying to get to the bunker after getting a nice pick on Prin. We do see this machine throwing these fizzy bombs, does actually spot the K-Pro. Good awareness to throw some shots towards him, saying, hey, I know you're here, back up, I know. Right now, we do see Taco in the middle of the street. Is he able to get the pick onto the bamboo on, oh, actually, no, wait.
Yeah, no, that was a great defense there. That's one of those situations where, you know, people have talked about how Ray has fallen out of favor here. That was a perfect Ray to use. When you know that everybody is pushing up street, just fire the Ray right there. That diffuses the whole thing. They took out the Rainmaker and dealt with it there. Very nice Stingray from Pika. Now it's just a matter of gaining map control here. They're going to have map advantage, but they had to use most of their specials to stop that push, so a little bit more work is going to need to be done before they can start their own.
Nice trade by Whoop there. Taco does it. It's actually the revenge kill. But with that trade, that's their anchor. They have to play fairly far back. We do see Josh right now getting super aggressive. Josh holding forward with the ballpoint. Whoop getting the nice follow-up kill.
That's why he was aggressive right there. Not alone. Great job working up.
Distraction.
Yeah, that's going to be all of them here. They're going to be able to push this pretty well. That is going to be a fizzy bomb, but that's going to be no trouble for them whatsoever. This is going to be in the 30s. They're dropping. Zillard continuing to run this all the way to 18. That's a winning push a lot of the time. That Booyah bomb being thrown a touch early. They aren't going to get the free pop as a result. Whoop's going to have to retreat out. So this will be a successful defense. But again, they're going to have to do a lot of work just to... What? What in the world?
How? Wait, what? How did everyone... Okay, well, I guess we see Josh right now just set up in the bunker.
You ever switch the camera over and 3 people just went down at the exact same... That had to be a bomb or something, but...
I don't even know. Nice shot by Pika there, though. Is able to get the pick. These shots right here are making it very hard for this Rainmaker to push. Zero with the Rainmaker does go down to the shots from above by Pika 4K. As we were mentioning, they do have the Ray ready. They are backing up. They finding a time to use it, but I think Taco's still there. Taco winning another 1v1, but does actually able to get called out and picked off. Nice Ray, securing the top of the push here, and I think this should be the push unless there's another miraculous.
They should, but remember the last time they stopped it, they put it back out to the center. They played the Rainmaker,
nice
jumping it off the side. And, okay, can you get past here? Last time you came up to here, 3 people went down to something. But
okay, so Pika's repositioned.
Very nice. Like, we have learned, everybody. We have learned. I love it here. And I like Nico's positioning as well, trying to push in on someone here. Josh moving just a little bit too quick. I would have liked to have seen Siren maybe come in here and deal with Josh. Was in a good enough position to do so. But again, you have to get rid of that anchor. Right now, they're just trying to control their bunker, and they're not even able to do that.
I really have been impressed by Josh. I really know him recently, but about 2 weeks ago, I watched a tournament, and I was just like, oh my goodness, this man, why does no one know about him? I really am happy he's here. I'm really happy he's playing well. As talking about playing well, so is the side of Alex Lautzenheiser's fan, yeah.
Hey, that's a better attempt than I made, so...
But right now, jumping in,
they've had control of the bunker this entire time. Ever since this first push started, they have had a beacon in bunker the entire time. Yeah. And if you have a beacon there the entire time, it's not because no one's using it. It's because you get back there and keep placing more of them. And Pika, again, finally putting that down, getting both of them. It's great, and we've seen Pika make some great shots, but I'm not sure how they're supposed to break out here. They haven't even gotten control of mid.
They really have to try and rush into the middle of the map right now. When they have these types of advantages, make sure those beacons go down first above all. Beacons are #1 priority as soon as you have a chance to retake middle. Unfortunately, Pika missing the charge held shot there. Does spot the guy in the bunker. Unfortunately, has to back up, has to respect the power of the K-shot, especially if it gets too close to her. Trying to get the pressure. They do have their anchor ready. They do spot one person in their street. Has to play really defensively now. Does not want to get jumped. They have probably the most important special on their team currently.
They do, but again, it's in a situation where you mentioned it right there. Doesn't want to get attacked. Pika really can't even use the Ray from this position. It almost seems like Musou is hoping one of their frontliners can make an opening so that Pika can move up. And that would have been the shot of the day right there, but instead, the more mobile ballpoint is going to do what it does. Siren is able to get a pick. but there's no one nearby to assist with it. It does seem like Musou just a little bit too separated now, but give credit to the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club. They are the reason that they've been so separated. They continue to move in, double up, and that is why, as we march down these final few seconds, that they're going to find a victory here in Game 1.
I think the main problem that happened that game is they just got staggered over and over.
Take a look.
Oh, yeah.
Half of the map from the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club hasn't been painted. Spots that are almost always painted if you have to come out of spawn
paint half of
normal.
their base.
They didn't need to. They continue to jump in, and once they had central control, they
Nice
didn't need
Taco.
to. 19 KA by Taco right there. Zillard holding up 3 fingers. He is so proud of himself right now. Nice 3 KA there from Zillard, but he didn't have to do a whole lot. Everyone was down before he could get
He
anybody.
played the objective.
He did.
Got
He
the
was
pick in
the
the
he
middle.
was the person who kept grabbing the Rainmaker.
Got the pick in the middle, which actually started the entire push, so he got the important picks. That's
So
all.
what you're saying is he was the MVP of that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go, Zillard.
Listen,
It is true. It's not always how many you get. It's
Yeah.
the ones you get. And, you know, the one that really starts the ball rolling can be one of the hardest ones to get. We talk about how difficult it is to break back out. Sometimes it's just one big pick that gets that. So maybe not the case in that game, but it is still very important to note. We will be moving to tower control on Mako Mart next. This is a very, very famous map and mode for people who are familiar with North American Splatoon. This was Game 7 of Grand Finals in the PAX East Open, which is where we saw the best teams in NA battle it out against each other. You remember how that map went, right?
Kyo's blaster.
100-0.
Oh my.
Instant.
I just remember I was watching him flank and all of a sudden just like,
If you, I mean, if you blink, you might miss it here. This is one of the most exciting maps. We saw at Crown a very fantastic set end here between Astral and Quantum. We get to see some great fights go on here. Let's take a look at what the teams have brought out. You pointed out the Kensa Rapid, one of my favorite weapons. You're a little curious by it. Why is that?
Kensa Rapid, in my opinion, is one of those weapons that are really, can't really do much in neutral and can't really do much if it gets rushed down, but once it gets set up, it's very good at holding down where it wants to be.
An absolute bloodbath here in the center. That's going to be all 4 members going down here for Musou, and it seemed like it was a bit of a trade in the middle, but that wasn't actually the case. Now Zillard is set up. It is going to be very difficult for anybody to approach from this side, so they're going to opt to load up on the left side. Now they're rotating over to deal with Zillard. They do so very quickly. They do lose the first checkpoint in the process, or no, they didn't. They actually stopped it in time. I thought that there was an opportunity to maybe get past that first checkpoint. It's so tricky to get through.
This Kensa Rapid Blaster right now, just trying to poke with torpedoes. It looks like they might be trying to move on the right stack. Now we do see Nico on the right. Pika does have the Stinger at the ready, so all pushes can be stopped. They do spot Taco. Taco has to wisely back up, but there's a blue bomb behind her, and Taco gets absolutely pinched and deleted.
That's the worst feeling, when you start retreating just a little bit too early, and then the person who you're against says, oh, you're retreating? Let me overshoot this Booyah Bomb. And then by the time you've realized that you do get Kobe'd, very painful. I had this discussion actually earlier with a couple people. Is Blissey Fall Off our equivalent of Kobe?
For Splatlings, yes.
Blissey. I love it right here. We do see the Stingray come out, and what a great movement by Pika, getting on just a little bit too early there. I thought there might have been an opportunity, but there was somebody on the left side making that difficult. So not a lot of places to run, but what a great Booyah Bomb here. That is going to really break up where the opponent is bunkered down. If they can get past this checkpoint, it'll be big, and they do. That is one of the trickiest first checkpoints that you will find in Splatoon.
That checkpoint, I feel, in my opinion, gets really easy with a Rapid Blaster, because you have this constant spam of torpedo, and if you try and go for the tower and you don't shoot those torpedoes, the torpedo's going to do so much damage, and then you practically one bullet. Taco does actually get the pick, but unfortunately does go down to Nico on the right side with this K-Pro. Right now we do see Musou with the push. There are 3 down.
It's just the Charger. Right now, all Pika has to do is put some semblance of pressure down there, and the Charger's not going to be able to do it. Now Pika's going to be able to get back on the tower. Just 8 points. Can they dance?
Oh,
It's hard to dance when there are 3 people trying to shoot you.
I want to see the capture shots too. However, that was a wipe on the Musou from Alex fan club here. They do have the Booyah Bomb at the ready and the Stingray. They're close to these missiles. This could be a very good setup for them, especially because they have the missiles for the top left and the Stinger for the top left. They are using both onto the top left currently. Taco is going to get aggressive, does get the Kensa Rapid Blaster. The Zap does go down also. This looks like it could be the push right here.
It is, and here's the real question. Zillard has rotated back over to mid from where they had made the push, and I don't know that I agree with that. I think I would have liked to have seen him go over here, because you saw that Nico actually, or I'm sorry, not Nico, whoever they sent over there, I believe it was Taco, was in basically a 1v2. If Zillard had opted to stay over there, there might have been an opportunity to make that happen. Instead, they get past the checkpoint, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. For sure. I think maybe Ziller should have positioned on the right stacks instead, so we could actually create that sort of crossfire.
Right, yeah, just assist a little bit with that push, because I know Taco's very, very strong, but that's not a situation that you want to find yourself in, because now you get into a trade of Stingrays, because earlier you had 2 specials, your long-range specials, and Pika didn't have Stingray yet. Now, Pika's going to be able to match Stingray for Stingray, and that's going to make it very difficult with only 90 seconds left.
We do see the armor getting broken from Prune here. 2 people down on the side of Alex Fanclub. But the last 2 are on the flank and are just going to get a really nice pincer on everyone else. Whoop getting the nice triple there. And now Whoop's just going to be probably trying to ride the tower out back to the middle of the map. For those who are not aware, when the tower is resetting back to the middle of the map, if the team that is in the disadvantage is riding the tower will actually go faster till the middle point of the map. So riding it is actually optimal here in this situation. We do see the missiles coming out from Taco, trying to push this top right on the side of Musou. Nice bomb.
Great bomb right there. And, you know, Pika, for those who don't know, Pika never the type of charger to simply sit back. She likes to go in, mix it up, and fight. A lot of chargers would simply stay back there, opt to trade pain until they're filled the ray. Look at Pika positioning up there and stopping the push by herself, saying, I don't need Stingray. I have one of the best main weapons in the game.
Pika just went also after that?
Yep.
Pika absolutely popping off right now. Nice little crossfire there from Nico. Does spot the charger, has to do some technical movement. Oh, let's go. Does spot Taco. Will he try to get? Will he actually get the pick on Taco here? Taco trying to position wiser than well, but ooh, nice trade.
Yeah, enough to at least stifle some of the pressure here. There's going to be a baller coming at them here, and this is just to zone them back right here. Even if Siren jumps out or gets taken down, just 10 seconds right here. Now you see that Pika is sitting on the Ray. This is an early Ray just to give them an opportunity to push. As soon as this is done, look for the counter Ray to come out. The race is going to be, can they deal with that Ray? They are not going to be able to. Josh is going to run it, but nothing.
He was just doing a little dance there.
Nothing that you can really do. Siren in position very well right there, but great overall teamwork once the push started there from Musou, and then after that, Pika making play after play. I'm not entirely sure what the KA is going to show here. It may not show Pika
Oh
at
my
the top.
gosh, Nico!
Is that the highest KA we've seen?
Yeah, it's by far. By far.
Nico.
Okay, Nico being like, all right, y'all can have your game.
I mean,
I'm going to get warmed up real quick.
Here we were talking about the control that Pika was moving and the big picks late. The entire time the story apparently is K-Pro doing K-Pro things.
K-Pro.
Well, K-Pro on tower control. Like,
yes. It's by far its best move.
It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like
Everyone nerf K-Pro.
hey, Splatzones and Claim Blitz maybe, but it's still going to do its thing in tower control.
For sure.
Still a very, very encouraging second match to see. We saw that in Rainmaker, we thought that Musou was maybe a little bit disconnected, and honestly, it was a stomp by the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club there in that first one. Completely different that game. Do you think it's just tower control? Do you think they got a little confidence?
I think their comp benefited off it a lot better. I really like the charger and the K-Pro because it allows you to do that nice little pincer on anyone that tries to push anywhere in the map. K-Pro is very, very good at assisting its teammates while zoning in the middle of the map. It's very, very much a punish heavy weapon. And for people that like to move up and try and pick the pack line, it can kind of just.
And you know, even talking about that too, Siren playing another zoning weapon, one of the best poking and zoning weapons in the game that time with the Crapid. We didn't talk a lot about it because every once in a while it would make a play here, but it is so nice when you can zone people over to someone else. If you have a charger laser here and you have your Kinsa Rapid over here and force them to the center, the K-Pro can just hold down the fire button and watch people run into it because there's nowhere else that they can go.
I feel like also, with you mentioning that, I feel like maybe the Rapid was corralling them into the K-Pro, kind of just being like, all right, you're going to go there, and he's going to shoot you, and then we push.
Simple as that, everybody. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, being good at Splatoon. We are moving on to Clan Blitz, new Albacore. This is a very, very scary and finicky
Nautilus!
map. We have the Nautilus. Ross, a noted proponent of the Nautilus here. No Tentabrellas, and I think that has to just mean that none of them play it because this is one of Tentabrella's best maps in Clan Blitz.
By far. We do see Pika actually shying away from the charger here. Going to go to the remix heavy spotlight. A very unconventional pick now that ballpoint's being such a highly played weapon. However, there are a 2-down situation onto the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club. And does he fall off? Was he fall off?
Not quite. Well, it's the wrong Splatling, that's why. But the
Ooh,
right
nice
Splatling
pick.
for right there. And again, Siren is once again staying with the Kensa Rapid. And I think it's a slightly more conventional pick for this map simply because of the range here. But it is really nice to be able to zone people away. And it makes them scared to try to push back. They're going to be able to get some here. Pika's going to be able to score all 4 of her clams as well.
Nice.
She's going to opt to get the punish right there.
Oh, no.
And not able to do much more than that. Siren might score a couple. They did get past the 60-point marker. 56 points will be it. That was a full wipe here. So now the question becomes, what will the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club be able to do with this about 5 or 6 seconds that they've bought themselves? They've got mid, but you see they only got 1 clam out of it. Even if they get a couple picks here, it's going to take them that much longer if they want to make a push.
Definitely. We do see Whoop does notice the guy trying to go behind him. Smartly backs up, but he puts himself in a very bad situation with that baller explosion and is able to get triple team. Very good job by Musou there to notice and just give that self some awareness. However, Josh getting 3.
Very
Let's go,
nice.
Josh.
That was great. Holding his ground in that situation, too, is very nice. I know a lot of backliners would opt to run away there, saying, okay, one of them has to approach me here. And whichever one opts to approach me, I'm shooting in that direction. If I get them, great. If not, I probably shouldn't be here anyway. So, yeah, but you can't. Yeah, ballpoint things, too. You can just flip the whole script here sometimes with that weapon. But again, we do see now they have done a pretty good job of collecting enough clams, but you've seen in the time it took them to collect those clams, they lost mid-control, and that's one of the things about good clam blitz teams. It seems like there's never a clam collection phase. Like, a lot of teams, I think, have a clam collection phase like, all right, we took them out, we got mid, now let's get clams. Good clam blitz teams, they're just constantly collecting clams.
Like all the clams are under the basket, just walk forward, just get them all, score. Right now, we do see Josh actually getting a trade here, but something I don't think we've mentioned so far is Zillard's on Junior?
Zillard is on Junior, and he does enjoy this weapon because for him at least, he wants to be able to assist his team. He really enjoys playing that support role, and he feels like if it's a wide open map like this, if he has people who can play K-Pro, he has people that can play even Nautilus in this situation, he just wants to open the map up for them, and he feels like Junior is his best weapon for that.
Definitely. Right now, we do see Josh getting super aggressive. One thing with this ball point, I think so far, Josh might be the most aggressive anchor we've seen. Whoop getting 3. Okay. Doing just Nautilus things. The clams are getting tossed right now. They're trying to set up for this bush. Nice pick by Josh. He needs 3 more before they can start scoring. Does actually spot someone. The clams are in the basket. The armor does go out.
Wow.
Unfortunately, the armor does not able to save him there, but the score does happen.
Score does happen. Will they be able to get the lead off of this? I believe that Nico was able to get the missiles out. Taco's going to run in right now, and Prin is just trying their best to hold this. Zillard moving in now. Was Zillard able to get them all?
Zillard got another one! Oh my goodness, Zillard absolutely popping off with his Junior. Not often you traditionally see him rushing down enemies, but no, Zillard saying, I need to do it, I need to do what I need to do, and absolutely putting in the work there. We do see Whoop does have the baller. They are close to the missiles. They're close to armor. They're about halfway to Storm with that pick on the Rapid Blaster. I think that might be the go signal.
And now they have 2 power claims that they're going to be able to push in
Bomb
with
spam,
as well.
the missiles.
Bomb spam missiles. This is going to hurt.
Yep.
What's the old saying? This is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. How about that? The lead and then some coming with them here. They've got enough claims that they might be able to add a couple more. Great work from Taco. No, okay, I was about to like, chill, Taco, chill. Oh, great work right here. Now, there is something nice. 2 power clams will tie this up for Musou here. So that's a good feeling to know that even if you can get just a simple jump in, that'll be enough to get you the lead, or at least tie it. You'll just need 1 more. Now, the question is, how do they do it? You see that they've started to move their way here. They have a lot of sustaining power here with their specials, but they only have 1 conventional up and at you push in. Let's see how they opt to do it. They have enough specials to make this work now.
Well, we might try and see use the Blue Bomb combo with the baller, but unfortunately they do use the Blue Bomb a bit early on this teammate. It looks like it's a dead corpse there.
That wasn't a bad toss in it, but that toss was premeditated on the fact that Nico would already be there, and Nico had gone down in that situation. Sometimes it gets just a little disconnected. They are still holding on to 2 power clams, so they're still going to have some sustaining power. But you see right here, the Alex Lautzenheiser fan club is just waiting. They're saying, okay, you have to come to us. All we have to do is continue to play this smart, not give you too much space, and we'll be okay.
I really think the win condition right here is if they can build up a Booyah Bomb and a baller. If they use the Booyah Bomb as a kind of cover for the baller to get in, they can get these jumps in. They do have 2 power clams. They're close to the Booyah Bomb. They are using the missiles. They do have the ballers ready. The push has to happen now. As soon as he gets the Booyah, you get ready to see the Booyah come out. The Booyah's coming out. The ballers should be coming in now. Booyah, baller, there's the shield. Baller explodes a bit early though.
Pika Hatsu. Pika needs to find a pick right here. Will they be able to swim up? No! Just not enough time. A few more seconds might have been enough. And if Pika wasn't in charge and be able to grab that and go to the top, that might have been doable. But man, you said it right there. They needed that for the win con, and they got it. But I think maybe the baller popped a little bit early, trying to save itself. Sometimes has to. Very scary. Nico and Josh at the top there with the KAs. We talked about both of those players doing such a great job over the course of the set. We saw dominating game 1, dominating game 2, and then a very, very close game 3. It's the definition of a close set, my friend.
A close game 4?
Let's hope. Splat Zones 3, are there ever any close games in Splat Zones 3? Just a couple, maybe? Just a few? I love Splat Zones The Reef. It is one of my favorite Splat Zones maps. The Reef has always been that map where it can work. The answer is yes. If you want to use this weapon, it can work here. Even at the very beginning of the game, when the Dynamo was a shell of its former self, people could still make the Dynamo work here. And that same principle has applied to so many weapons, especially since they swapped it over to 2 Splat Zones instead of one big one under the bridge.
Definitely. I feel like the Reef's one is kind of like the final destination of this game. In the first game, you kind of referred to
Urchin.
I would think Walleye maybe.
Well, I guess the specials in that game were a little different. I think as time went on, I appreciated Urchin more than I did Walleye.
Same, honestly. When I played E-Leader in the first game, I was like, I can't get this. I don't understand.
Well, we aren't going to talk about Splat 1 E-Leader. That is a nightmare I still haven't woken up from. No,
Let it come back.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Make it a thing.
But I think that one of the matchups that we have talked a lot about here is the backliners, but Nico and Taco, it seems like they haven't met up a ton, which is really weird. We've been talking about Nico making big picks and Taco making big picks. It hasn't been a big 1v1, and it seems very weird that 2 very aggressive and strong frontliners just haven't ran smack into each other at some point.
They might be trying to avoid each other and trying to play around, hey, if I can get this guy, then maybe my team can push. But we do see a Kensa Charger and a Neo Splash coming out. Those are 2 weapons you do not see every day. We do see Sayo the comp. I mean, 2 Ninja Squid players. Let's go.
And
Let's go.
I think the one pick on the map that I really like is Siren switching back over to here, because
There's
that is
already a 3v3.
That is a lot of short-range shooters coming out from the Lautzenheiser Fanclub. This is where the K-Pro can really shine. They didn't. A lot of times when you see Neo Splash, you see it paired up with something like a K-Pro that can. I mean, the K-Pro is obviously focused on getting the picks.
Yeah.
But they don't have that now, so I think that if Siren is able to get position here, identify where the opponents are, it should be a really good game for them, but that can be much easier said than done. See them moving around right here, and I'm not even sure that Pika was firing at them. I think it was just firing forward, and you jumped right onto the edge of the pen.
Unlucky. Looking actually at Alex's comp, I can maybe see this Splash working with more of a supportive role, because they do have a lot of poke with the bombs from the Junior and the bombs from the K-Shot. They can also throw burst bombs towards whoever the K-Shot's trying to fight and be able to assist from long range. However, 3v3 situation in the middle of the map right here. The armor does come out. The missiles, the armor running out just in time. Taco killing everything.
I was going to say, there were 3 people and then there were none.
Okay,
so that's how that
Taco.
works. That is how that works. And great job there with the missiles. The missiles getting Pika was a really, really big deal there, because it allowed everyone else to move up in that situation. You see Josh moving up right there. You're still stunned. Your mouth is still on the floor here from that pick. But this is the evolution of Chargers these days. Even the scope variation of the Charger, you got to be willing to move up and mix it up. And with this variation of it, you have a baller that you can punish them as they come back out.
Go big or go home, as people would say. Charger's one of those weapons where it's not as traditionally as you see in other games. They have actually limited range, so you have to actually get super, super aggressive. We do see the missiles coming out a little bit. I think those missiles are a bit early, in my opinion. Yeah, the Bremon's going to come out. Unfortunately, it looks like someone dropped the pick too early, and Taco?
The missiles were early, but it let the rest of the team know where they were trying to push out from. They have too much mobility. Pika's going to need to somehow take down 3 people and isn't able to get 1. And after a very close and tight set, we were building up the Reef Splat Zones to be a close game. We did not get that. But the Alex Lautzenheiser Fan Club, a great job getting the 3-1 victory. And I am turned to them right now. They're not entirely sure exactly what they're doing here. I think I don't know that they're going to be able to live up to their promise of chanting his name. But you see right there, Taco at the top of the KA. Once again, a name we have said over and over. Frontline can still get it done.
Yes, indeed. K-Pro or not K-Pro, if you're good.